So I think what I'm trying to say with solitude is that if there isn't a sense that I am happy with myself, with my own company, with the thoughts that circle around in my mind, imagine how complex that is when you add another confused individual who's not happy with their thoughts, not happy with who they are, not happy with their mind. And now in a relationship, you're putting two confused people together. Why is there pain? Why is there fallout? Why is there so much disappointment in a relationship? In my opinion, and from the perspective of the Eastern studies, is that because there's an internal dissatisfaction in both people that they're now bringing to each other. And so the strength of solitude is using that time. I've still not found a better solution for self-awareness than solitude. Because in solitude, it's the only place you get to hear your own voice and make sense of other people's opinions. If I'm standing in the middle of a group of 100 people and they're all yelling their opinions at me, chances are some of them are going to rub off, some of them are contagious, some of them I'm going to reject, and I don't get the space and time to make sense of what's my voice and what's noise. Whereas when I get time to myself, I get the opportunity to reflect on and introspect and go, do I want that thought to be mine? How does that fit into my life? How do I feel about this, right? You get to have that dialogue with yourself. And I feel we've lost the art of self-talk and self-dialogue. There's an amazing study I talk about in the book about how when we spend time with people that we're close to or caregivers or people that love us, our breath and even our heartbeat can synchronize.
Dude, that is so weird to me.
It's so strange, right?
Dude, humans sync up to each other. The one that freaks me out the most is that women will sync their periods and they all sync to the dominant female. That stuff gets super crazy.
Wow, yeah.
Super crazy.
Yeah, it happens to my wife and her sister all the time. But yeah, I don't know which way around it is. But
yeah. So that's the next question.
About that. Yeah, but
so fascinating.
The second thing you need, and this is where I want to be very clear about my language, because this word gets thrown a lot in relationship talk, but I don't mean it in the same way. So the thing is, you have to respect their values. And what I mean by this is 99% of us in relationships are trying to make our partner respect our values. We want them to like what we like. We want them to love what we love. If I'm going to watch football on the weekend, I'd love for you to come with me. If I think that going to watch this is really important, you should be there. So we demand that our partner respects our value rather than respecting theirs. And I'll give a tangible example. So, for example, Radhi's number one, and I ask a lot of couples to do this exercise if I'm working with someone. I'll ask couples to rank their top 3 priorities, including themselves, in order. And most of the time, one partner will say, you, are you the partner? So you would say Lisa. If you had the kids, you'd say the kids. And then third, they'd put themselves. That's a general order that people will put. Now, sometimes you get a curveball where someone goes, me, you, the kids. And every time someone writes that, their partner goes, how could you put the kids third? How can the kids be third? Like, how does that make any sense? And how can you be first? And it's like, well, no, because I know that I don't want to give you my leftovers. I want to give you the best of me. So when you look at respecting someone's value, when I look at Radhi's values, Radhi's number one value is family, her family. My number one value is my purpose and my service to the world. Those are not the same values. A lot of people say you have to have the same values in a marriage. I don't subscribe to that. I don't think you have to have the same values. I think if you're looking for someone with exactly the same values, you're going to take a lot longer to find that person. I don't know anyone in the world that I know that's happily married, and I'd love to break it down with anyone, who genuinely could say we have the same exact values. So I respect Radhi's value as family, which means when family becomes a priority in decision making, when family becomes a priority during the holiday season, when family becomes a topic of conversation, I'm zoned in. That's something she deeply values and cares about. If she's going to choose family over anything, I'm going to be okay with that because she's made it very clear that's her number one value. Same back at me. If I choose purpose over anything, she knows that's going to happen. It's not a surprise. I know so many people who are trying to get their partners to change their value. And I just don't see that happening, or that person compromises their value and now feels less versions of themselves, like a less adequate version of themselves, and now you're dating the second best version of the person you love.
Investment, maybe.
And it's unsexy, right? I keep using that word too, because it's not what's been portrayed. It's not what it's meant to feel like. It doesn't look like